Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week, I predicted that number 1 would be The Nun, number 2 would be Peppermint, number 3 would be Crazy Rich Asians, number 4 would be The Meg, and number 5 would be Mission Impossible Fallout. And I got 2 out of 5 of my predictions right for this weekend. Whatever, let's go over what actually happened. Number 1 was, of course, The Nun. Surprisingly, making $53 million this weekend, which is actually the highest opening weekend out of any Conjuring-related film ever. So this movie's probably poised to become maybe their highest grossing also, depending on how it does next weekend. I'm not sure how the holdover is going to be, but this is already a pretty good sign for this movie. Worldwide, it is sitting at $132 million already, which is more than doubled, tripled, and quadrupled its $22 million budget. It's a relatively low budget, so this movie's already doing fantastically at the box office. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of this film, but the fact that it's gotten this much of a success, somehow it's become the highest opening weekend for any of these movies, which I'm very surprised by, even though, this has the lowest critic approval score on Rotten Tomatoes, but whatever. I'm glad for this movie's success or something. I don't know what that says about horror movie audiences today, but whatever. Moving on to number 2, we have Crazy Rich Asians, which made $13.6 million, adding to a domestic total of $136, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $164 million. So it's $36 million away from getting to $200 million worldwide, which is fantastic, but I should probably note that it is only $0.4 million domestically ahead of number 3, which is Peppermint. So in more accurate numbers come along, Peppermint could very well take it over, but I'm not really sure considering this has a very low critic approval score on Rotten Tomatoes. It only made $13.2 million this weekend, and this is on a budget of $25 million, which means it needs to get to 50 to be considered a success. Now, maybe, depending on how it does next weekend, if it holds over decently enough domestically and if worldwide it's able to push it over, maybe you can consider it that, but right now it's looking like this was not a very good action movie comeback role for Jennifer Garner. Number 4, you have The Meg, which made $6 million, adding to a domestic total of $131 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $491 million. So it's only $9 million away from getting to $500 million worldwide, which I'm so happy for. And I think it definitely will be able to surpass that next weekend. I think we will be talking about how it got $500 million worldwide, so that's fantastic for this movie. Quite a big surprise for everyone, even out of the summer now that it's September, it's still doing pretty well for itself. Number 5, we have Searching, which made $4 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $14 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $32 million. There is still no released budget for this film on Box Office Mojo or Wikipedia or even thenumbers.com, but this movie, I'm guessing, only costs maybe $1 million to $5 million to make, considering a low cast number, and also it's shot entirely on a computer screen, so I'm guessing it was relatively low budget. Either way, this movie's doing fantastic for itself. The fact that it's even sticking around this much is fantastic news. Number 6, you have Mission Impossible Fallout, which made $3.8 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $212 million, and that is $3 million away from becoming the highest grossing Mission Impossible film domestically, and I think it definitely will do that next weekend. However, worldwide, it is currently sitting at $726 million, which is the highest worldwide gross for the series. Mission Impossible Fallout, at least worldwide, has become the highest grossing out of the entire series, which is fantastic. And next weekend, I'll be able to report that it's become the highest grossing out of the series domestically, which I'm super happy about. Number 7, we have Christopher Robin, which made $3.1 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $91 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $143 million. So $9 million away domestically from getting to $100 million, and worldwide-wise, it only needs $7 million more to double its $75 million budget. Maybe it will. I know worldwide it's got at least one more place to release, either later this month or next month. I think it is quite a big bummer, though, that this movie was genuinely kind of heartwarming and it didn't do as well as maybe it should have, but it doesn't matter because Disney owns a lot of money anyways, and this is like a minor wound for them, so it doesn't matter. Moving on to number 8, we have Operation Finale, which made $3.04 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $14 million, and it's still $10 million away from surpassing its initial production budget of 24, but that being said, if you double it, it still needs to get to 48 million, and it's just not going to get there. It's 34 million behind that. And the fact that worldwide they haven't released any kind of numbers for that yet, that's a little disappointing for this film. You'd think maybe this movie would do a little bit better since it's based on a true story, but I don't know. I guess not too many people were that interested in it, or they just didn't know about it in general. Number 9, we have Alpha, which made $2 million, and that adds to a domestic total of $32 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $59 million. Next weekend, I think for sure this movie is out of here, and it kind of sucks that it took so long for it to get released, and then it bombed, but what can you really do? It's another one of those films where it took so long to be released, but when it does, it just doesn't do as well at the box office as it should have, so that sucks for that movie. And finally, closing out the top 10, Black Klansman, which actually isn't a bomb, considering the past few films I've been talking about. It made $1 million, and that adds to a domestic total of 43, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at 65 million, so that is fantastic for this film. It's quadrupled its $15 million budget and made a little bit more than that. Spike Lee, congrats on your big success. And now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, I think, will be The Predator, just by a little bit, because number 2, I think, will be The Nun, and then number 3, A Simple Favor, number 4, Crazy Rich Asians, and number 5, Peppermint. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.